Would you believe someone who just said, I have amazing organizational skills? Or would you believe someone who said, I worked on a project where I coordinated the work of 5 people with an outcome of XYZ? Hello everyone! In today's video, I'm going to talk about common mistakes I see young people make with their resumes and how to avoid them. I also had a lot of questions during high school and university on how to write a resume or a CV, and I for sure fell into some of these traps. So let's dive right in. Mistake number 1 that I see a lot of people make is saying things without evidence. Now, young people tend to claim that they have certain skills, but they don't back it up. For example, good organizational skills. Would you believe someone who just said, I have amazing organizational skills? Or would you believe someone who said, I worked on a project where I coordinated the work of 5 people with an outcome of XYZ? It's the second one, right? And it's the same with all soft skills. You have to have something to back up all your skills with. I know you don't have a lot of experience, but even during the interview, they will ask you questions that are in the STAR framework. So you will need to talk about, what the situation was, what the task was, the action was, and the result was. And because of that, it's really good to have extra experiences or at least something for you to be able to back up your claims with. Now, mistake number 2 is not taking relevance into consideration. Sometimes I see people sending the same CV to different types of positions, and I for sure did that. I put all of my experience into one CV and sent the same CV to a research-based engineering internship and another one that was project management or consultancy. So it's a common mistake that I see young people make is including irrelevant details and experiences just to buff up their CV, and also sending the same CV to different types of positions. You really need to think about the position and what skills they're looking for so you can custom make your CV to fit that position to maximize your chances of getting an interview. Mistake number 3 that I usually see people make is using passive voice and weak action verbs. Now, this is much more common in people whose native language is not English, because sometimes they will say, this project was managed by, or the process was initiated by, and things you have achieved, you need to emphasize them by strong action verbs such as achieved, managed, led, initiated, planned, analyzed, designed. And weak action verbs will be things like did, was. So instead of saying, the process was initiated by me, say, I initiated the process. Don't use the passive voice because you are the subject of those actions. Very often, using the passive voice will indicate to the reader that things were just happening to you. You weren't the one in charge. And this is not being in charge of a team or a project, but rather being in charge of your own actions. So it's really, really important that you show initiative and that you're in charge in your CV. Very often, if you use bullet points, you will only use these strong action verbs. So you won't say, I initiated the project, but just say initiated the project in the bullet points. So you don't repeat I over and over again at the beginning of every bullet point. Mistake number 4 that I see a lot of people make is inconsistent formatting or unreadable formatting. Now, inconsistent formatting actually shows the recruiter that you're quite unprofessional, even if that's not the case, because you did not take the time to make your CV neat and just pretty. Now, again, the CV being pretty is not that important, but it being neat is very, very important. So make sure you run through the whole document and all the things should be aligned. Everything that you want to be should be the same font, the same size, the same indentation. Make sure that it looks cohesive as one document and not just several documents patched together. And unreadable formatting is also something that I see a lot of people make as a mistake. For example, they will write long paragraphs, or they write in multiple columns, and it's very, very hard for people to make out what they are actually looking for. Now, you have to make sure that it is easy for the reader to extract the information that they need. Recruiters look through hundreds and thousands of resumes a day, so they will not read through a resume that is very hard to read, very hard to extract the information from. So make sure you make it as easy as possible for the reader to know what you're talking about, to find the information that they're looking for, and just a pleasant experience for them to read. And lastly, spelling and grammatical mistakes. Similar to inconsistent formatting, this actually shows a lack of professionalism because it's very, very easy for you to be able to run a spell check on your CV or run a grammar check on your CV. So definitely use spell checkers whenever you send in your CV, and even better, have some people read through your CV before sending it in. Now, a lot of people might say, you know, 1 or 2 typos will not make or break a CV. Yes, that is true, but I have heard some testimonials where recruiters said that just that one typo made them a bit more wary of the other mistakes in the CV, and they will be looking for more mistakes in skills or experiences, and that lowers your chances of getting an interview. So again, make sure to use spell checkers so you avoid this mistake. So overall, the 5 mistakes for you to avoid in a CV is: number 1, saying things without evidence. Always have something to back your claims up with and your skills with. Number 2, not taking relevance into consideration and including irrelevant details and experiences. Number 3, using passive voice and weak action verbs. Instead, use strong action verbs such as planned, achieved, initiated, managed, and designed. Number 4, inconsistent and unreadable formatting. You want to make it as easy as possible for the interviewer to find the things that they are looking for. And last but not least, spelling and grammatical mistakes to make sure you look professional. Always make sure to run your CV through a spell check and grammar check. Make sure to comment below to let me know if you learned something new or if you have any other tips that you'd like other people to know about. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video to show your support. Bye guys, see you in the next video.